Hello guys, this is KTB Vlogs or TBZ Production here, as I'm back on another video here on my channel here, and I kinda never thought this video would have been made. It's by a YouTuber I do know, a lot of course is Brush Poet. Um, I know him, I guys give you guys my history of how I know him. Brush Poet, I knew him since I think it was 2014. Of course, he kind of was the ones that was playing MK9, like, I guess, during the days of Injustice, I guess. Because he was mostly playing Injustice than MK. Well, he played MK9 and played Injustice. Just like kind of like Losty Girl. Because I played against Losty Girl during the MK9 days, of course. And I know him personally on Twitter, but see, my Twitter is not like a social media influencer. It's just my personal Twitter. So it's not like, oh, I use that for influencing myself and all that stuff. Like, no, just personal. But I don't hardly use it that much. So, because he's like the one I argue with a lot. Like, he basically likes that they added a lot of horror characters and all that stuff. And I'm like, no, that would ruin. See, and right now it's actually storming outside as I'm talking because it says raining. You guys hear that? Of course, it's storming because it started raining like an hour ago, and it just picks up. Then it'll rain, it'll stop, then it'll start over again. I mean, as you guys heard that, I know you guys heard that if you guys did, because that's what it does every time it storms or it rains. It can be a pretty day, then it'll just turn dark and just start raining, just like that. But anyway, so like I knew him. We used to argue a lot, like they shouldn't add a lot of horror characters and all that stuff because that kind of would ruin more combat. And because like with MKX, that's why I didn't like MKX that much. Because of course, Jason and Alien, Predator, Leatherface, and like it ruins it. Like they could have added more Mortal Kombat characters that we know, and that's what kind of destroyed it. Because a lot of people were mad because they did not add Fujin, and I'm like, what? And I'm thinking like Fujin could have been in the game completely. Like if MKX supposed to have been like MK4, because the only part of that game that was MK4 was the beginning, and that's all we know. And that would kind of destroy the game, and that's why a lot of people were so happy when they did MK11. Fujin was added, and I was like, wow. Now he actually is so fun to play with too. I actually like Fujin, so that's what I kind of like about that. Like they added characters that I actually would love to see in the game. Not add Michael Myers. Like, what the hell does Michael Myers have to do with Mortal Kombat? Because, like, I didn't mind Freddy Krueger. Not really. I didn't mind at all. I mean, at least it was just two guest characters instead of one. Because, well, Freddy was added with the four other three characters that's part of the DLC. And Kratos was only exclusive to the PlayStation. So it makes sense, like, okay, well, Freddy's on both versions of the game, Xbox and PlayStation, so it doesn't really matter. And so MK9 gets a pass for that. But with MKX and MK11, like all these different DLC characters, like Terminator, Joker, RoboCop. I mean, like, no, no, no. I mean, like Spawn, he'll fit. He actually fits Mortal Kombat. Like I said, Kratos actually fits Mortal Kombat as well. So I actually did not mind that. Like, I liked it when they added Spawn and Soul Calibur. I mean, that was pretty cool too. I mean, that's awesome. But having a whole bunch of DLC characters of horror characters and superhero characters like MK1 did is it's just not right. I'd rather have in Mortal Kombat characters, not no guy from Marvel or some guy from DC. I mean, come on, it makes sense why it is lackluster. So we argue a lot, and like that's the truth about Russ. But as I see, he has grown up because I don't really know how old he is. So, but he has grown up. I can see. But it's kind of nice that he actually made this video about this guy because I, I mean, the guy you see on the screen right there on this video is the worst Mortal Kombat YouTuber ever existed. And he called himself the DSP of the Mortal Kombat community, and that is not fucking right because he isn't. And oh boy, so now of course you guys know my history of Russ Poet. Let's talk about this guy right here. So Fate Fighting All Die Enemies is the person I seen ever since they had leaked the trailer of the Mortal Kombat 1 game back in May, I think. The first trailer came out, and this guy is completely, I mean, ridiculous. He's so wrong, so horrible. He hates on Mortal Kombat completely. He just calling people Shill stands, and he secretly support the LGBT mess. He actually does a little bit because I know he do. And he hates on people that plays Mortal Kombat 1. And it's just sad. So, as this channel, his channel was recommended to me. Like, I didn't know who he was. I didn't know who he was as when I saw the trailer of MK1. Like when you X out, like when you watch like YouTube, like I turn off my Roku when I turn off my TV and stuff. So I have a Roku. So I had to turn off my TV, and I had already, I had already seen the Mortal Kombat 1 trailer the day before. So like now, like next day when I leave and go, like when I leave and go somewhere, and when I come back, come back home and stuff, and I turn on my TV and I go to YouTube, and this this guy right here, his video just pops up. Like his video is there. Like I never know this person. I don't know who he is. Don't know who he is or anything. Like who is this guy? And he's basically taking, breaking the how the video was made, how the picture, how the characters look, like who's this character and all this stuff. Like just all this stupid dissecting shit of trailers and videos and stuff like that. Like, I hate when you have a person that does that. And like, it's just a 2 minute trailer of a showing a character. Like, come on. So ever since then, all his videos, he basically hates on the game, bash on it, and hates when people, don't say anything negative or bad about the game. And it's kind of funny how when the game was not released yet until September, and people were already playing the game early, and basically just crying about the game and calling people shills, stands, and saying I'm a real Mortal Kombat fan, Mike. Like all that shit, like it's just ridiculous. And of course, he been doing this ever since the announcement of the game and the release of the game. And it's been what 3 months now with Mortal Kombat One. Even so, I know as by now, of course, MK1 did not win an award. But I'm like, they don't have to win an award. I don't even remember. I don't really remember MK11 won an award. I don't think they did. As to my knowledge, I don't know the last time I heard when they said Mortal Kombat, best game of the year was MKX, but that's a lie. I mean, like, because MKX was not a great game. It really wasn't. And I know MK9 because I seen that. Of course, the 2012 Game Award. Of course, MK9 was the best game. It still is till this day, completely hands down. And yeah, that's true, but not MKX or 11. But yeah, like I don't care for that. Like you expect them to win an award when the game just came out 3 months ago? No, I don't know why. Why would they release a game award so soon, and the game was only 3 months old? But like I'm not that surprised. But this guy is a bad game, mate. He's a bad game, mate. Horrible game, mate. The women are ugly, mate. He's a shield, mate. I mean, he even would call people shills if they are not like. Fun fact: I don't have the game at all. Do I plan on getting the game? Maybe, yeah, because my brother already have the game, and I do plan on getting a PS5 soon. And but I'm not excited about playing the game. Like oh, the game, the game. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Like no, because it did not. The game trailer did not excite me or nothing like that. Anything. I know, like right now, like I think the Dragon Ball Z Tegachi, Budokai Tegachi. Of course, it's not. I know it's in Japan. It's called Spark Zero because that's the Japanese name. But we know it's Budokai Tegachi 4. So, as so far as I see of it, it's only supporting Super. And that's true because you got Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta, and I see Jiren. I saw 17 from Super. I saw Trunks from Super. I mean, it's supporting Super. As I'm already seeing, oh yeah, what about Dragon Ball Z? What about Dragon Ball GT? I don't know. But so far that they only showing Super, mostly of it, because Super Saiyan Blue, they ain't got Jiren, and then Broly from Super, all that. Like that's the only thing I see in the game, in the trailers and stuff. So that's all I see. But yeah, like I do plan on getting a PlayStation 5, and I do plan on getting that, and of course, but I'm not gonna be excited playing the game and like going crazy over it. Same with Tekken 8. I mean, like, yeah, Devil Jin's back in the game. Like, I see his picture and everything, but I'm not excited. I mean, like, it's kind of weird. I guess because I'm older, it makes sense. Like, if I was like 14 or 15 or 13, 15 year, years old, yeah, I probably got hyped over that. But I'm older now because I'm 26. I don't feel hype anymore. So that's true. So anyway, that's what this guy has been doing. Basically hating on people that plays the game, like I said, and call people shield stands and saying they support NRS and Warner Brothers and all of that stuff. And another thing I'm going to talk about with the whole Warner Brothers thing and NRS. These idiots, well, he's an idiot, got to realize Midway is bought by Warner Brothers. So everything that Midway done in the past, Warner Brothers own the rights to it. So that means like, because they're bitching about the characters' costumes and all that shit and all that. They don't show their butt cheeks or they don't show their sexy outfits anymore. You know why? Because Warner Brothers, remember, Warner Brothers is a what? It has cartoon characters and kids are, of course, cartoons for kids, all that stuff. You know, like what was it, the Looney Tunes, Scooby Doo, Scooby Doo part, yeah, Scooby Doo's part of it. Of course, that Velma shit destroys Scooby Doo completely. That, ugh, I hate that stupid ass shit. Ruins Scooby Doo. Of course, I can't forget that Scoob movie either. Ugh, oh my god. But anyway, as cartoons, and basically a lot of kids are playing stuff like that, they had to be appropriate for that marketing because we're not in the era of Midway anymore. Because, well, MK9 did it to its fullest because it still hold the trademarks of what the women used to dress like in the older games. But I'm not really I'm not really caring about that, how they were in the older games and how they were in the MK9. Like, stop worrying about it. Like, you expect you expect them to have that original iconic look because every character is not going to look the same. Every game they don't be the same character they was in the last game. So there's gonna be a lot of points in this video as we're gonna be watching. Because it's gonna be a 1 hour video, and this video will be 1 hour because without my camera, it will only record up to 1 hour. So with that, it will not re- so without that it will not record past 1 hour if I have my camera on, like me on the screen. So without it, it can't go past 1 hour. So that's pretty good for that. So that's what I will do with that. And so there's a lot of points in this video that will be watching right now. And of course, hope you guys enjoy. As you know, we're 20 minutes in, and we're getting ready to watch this crazy shit. So at least I gave you guys a little good history of Breast Poet and talked about Fate Fight or Die enemies. I mean, completely the worst YouTuber in history. I mean, completely. And I know, like, the whole thing calling people shills, the actual definition of this, like, my definition of a shill, is different than what he actually will say. Because a shill is a person obsessed over something, and he likes it, loves it, and hates it at the same time. So he loves Mortal Kombat and hates it at the same time. And he called it trash, garbage, bullshit, and everything. And calling himself a fan, because he really is not a fan, because even told MK kind of shocked me too, especially him. All the other times I watch his videos of him obsessed over Mortal Kombat completely, and now he's calling it garbage and trash and calling people shields and all that shit, because it's just sad. Of course, that's the next video that we'll be reacting to. So that probably will come out maybe a week from now, because I think Breast Poe is gonna make another one soon. And I think he's gonna explain a lot about what those assholes do, and that's what I kind of glad that he made this video and the other one, because it's just sad like how they basically end up hating on something and don't want to do what the game basically telling you to do. And you know, the real tip of this video, what this guy don't do in the game, that mostly what you should do when you first trying a new game, practice. That's the first thing I will do if I get a new game. I'm not gonna be press buttons and press random buttons and do all that shit. No, practice. Kind of makes sense as you see up here with Dragon Ball Xenoverse, because I played the first game of Dragon Ball Xenoverse, and the second one is pretty difficult than the first one, so it's kind of weird. But that's what I do. I practice. And that's what the one tip that Breast Poet actually tells him in this video. But he does not acquire it. So the tips in the video that we'll be watching, as I'm going to be watching through, is him complaining about calling the characters ugly, talking about the shop in the store, the shop in the game, and the shrine, talking about how it's grindy, and talking about why he called Breast Poet a shield, and he's still not explained. So let's start this video now. Let's go.
But you understand now that you like don't know, you have no idea about certain things. You have misunderstandings about a lot of what I have to say and what I do, that you have this perception of me that is just not true. And you
See, this is just the highlight. So we're about to get into it now.
propagate a lot online in your YouTube videos and in your tweets and under my replies. I see them, don't worry. And all for what? On Twitter. Over things, over a whole bunch of misunderstandings, over a bunch of things that you don't even know about me, things that you're not even clear about. But and it's funny that you never mention those things in your videos when you talk about me. But you're the ones that you have to go to explain why I'm a shill is LOL Tanya tweet LOL maximum damage joke.
So these are the video highlights that Breastplate put on the screen, and of course, he is based. I think half of these videos were deleted. I don't think they are, but I think he had hid them because he actually did a live stream with Breastplate. I think he deleted the live stream of the videos, but but these are the regular videos that he was making. I mean, like this guy was making it like 10 to 20 videos a day, bashing on Mortal Kombat, hating on people playing the game. I mean, he even lost the girl for playing the game and bitch about people doing combos and stuff like that. Like, it's just sad in every way. And of course, those were the highlights of the video that he talked about the Tanya and calling the women ugly and all that stuff, and calling breastplate a show. And so that's what we're gonna be watching through this video. Of course, those were just the highlights. So we're just getting started. So yeah, I mean this guy is ridiculous, horrible. Oh my god, especially the second video. Like, I mean those guys. You're a shill. You're a shill. You're a shill. I mean, if you call anybody a shield, you'll call anyone in the world a shield. You can call a person a shield just because they don't play the game or talk about the game. Okay, let's get started. I mean, it's already going crazy as we speak. Want to be Kano?
Hello.
I'm Kano, Mike.
Hello.
Hey, bro. I can hear you now.
Where's TMK? Where's everyone at?
He's in what do you call it? He's in the podcast part of my channel.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know. I can add him if you want. I
I was under the impression that I'd be added onto the call. So.
Oh no, I don't.
Well, that's part 2, guys. So yeah, especially he's gonna pop up in that video when we watch it. I mean, the second video. Oh my god, I saw clips of it from people. Oh my god, this shit. I'm like, I mean, like they never explain why they call him a shield. It's just ridiculous, even in this one. So let's get started.
Like, look, I don't like it when people dog bark. That's all I'm saying. Right? You're coming into my.
I can be dog pile. I don't care. It's fine.
No, it's all right, man. No, if you're happy at just being us, that's cool. It's probably easy, because then that way you're not.
I mean, sure, but I mean, if hey, I'm welcoming on the dog pile. If you and TMK want to get at me, or if somebody else wants to get at me, I'm totally fine with that.
Well, I don't like dog pile.
Okay, all right.
But we'll have a chat for a bit anyway. Well,
that's nice what they actually are doing.
Okay.
And I like
nice to meet you too. Nice to be on here.
And I like your nails.
Thank you very much. You talk about them a lot. Very much like them.
Not that much. But anyway, no, that's cool. I don't get it's just fun. Right. So did you want what do you want to talk about?
Well, I don't know. Isn't this like exposing the Shill stream? So no. Like you're gonna expose them all. No. And I'm apparently on that list, right?
Well, put it this way, I don't. You can talk about whatever you want, right? If you want to call me out on shit, go for it. Cool.
No. I'm just here like, okay, well what? I've been called as a shill on your YouTube channel, and so like, what it makes me a shill? What have I said that implies that I'm a shill?
So it's perception. right? So
100%.
basically, like you're a pretty big YouTuber, which is cool. Congratulations, it's all good, right? You've obviously got the inside track when it comes to certain things. When it comes to like maybe NRS carrying favors, perhaps you get beta code, perhaps you get blown out, all that sort of jazz, right? So that's fine. Like I'm not saying that you can't do that, right? What I'm saying though is that people, and it's not just me, right? I'm just a voice. Okay? But what I'm saying is that a lot of people do see, and it's not just an MK thing; it's a general thing. It's an influencer thing. If you will. That people see people that
Okay, so basically, if calling somebody shill because they went and played the game, a beta access, and beta access is just a demo of the game, right? So how you call someone a shill because they went and played the game early or they played the demo of the game? And fun fact, the game was released the week before the actual release date of the game because people were uploading the story mode clips, people were uploading the characters' fatalities, the cameo characters' fatalities, all that stuff. And I mean, they even did this during the MKX days. I mean, I remember me watching the whole entire story mode on YouTube. Watch the whole thing. This is like the week before the game came out in April of 2015, and people were already uploading the story mode, the full thing. I watched the whole entire thing, and I didn't even have the game because actually, originally MKX was supposed to have been on the PS3, but as I realized, they didn't want to make another version of the game to be on that console for the Xbox 360 or the PS3. Because I guess out of that time frame, they want us to jump on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 and all that. Of course, you know how that went. Of course, that's right now. Like MK1 could have been on the PS4 and it could have been on the Xbox One because that's where the whole crossplay thing would come from because it would that's what the game could have been on. So that what makes it different than the other consoles. So calling someone a shield because they went and played the game and had the beta access demo to the game and played it is not a shield. Just call him a shield because he went and played the game. And that's a shield. And saying he got on a jet airplane and went to play the game. This guy is so horrible. I'm not lying. He's actually a very horrible person. I mean, completely. Cause I think right now, I think he uploaded a video about Tom Brady now. And I guess he's trying to call him a shield too. It probably won't end well.
obviously because of particular doors that may open or stay open for them, or things that they might, be may or may not be getting behind the scenes. Who knows, right? They are willing to not address certain things, or be too outspoken about certain things, or even, and no disrespect, I have seen on Twitter it seems that you would sort of you'd say something. I can't remember what it was a little while ago, and then it might have been the perfect example is the Tanya thing, right? This is just a basic example. Right? So you came out and it was great. You're like, don't let people gaslight you about not liking Tanya. And I thought, okay, cool, that's fucking awesome. And then not long later, you're like, you like it almost like you completely reversed, right? So the perception of that is to the general person is like, hang on a sec, you say this thing, now you're saying this thing, right?
Mhm.
Are you worried about like, are you worried about you can stand by your convictions? Are you worried about doors being closed to you or anything like that? And so I'm not saying you're a bad person, But,
Okay.
but the reason why people don't like Shills in general is simply because how do you know you're getting honesty
Mhm.
up front? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now that's the dumbest shit I ever heard. So you basically calling him a shill because he said something different about Tanya and saying he didn't like how she looked and everything. I'm thinking to myself like, hmm, you gotta realize this. You expect the character to always still have that same exact look they had in the previous game. I mean, the only game that did that, I guess you kind of would say that would be MK11. Like Scorpion kind of still had his original look. Well, the look kind of almost the look from MKX on the picture, but they looks will always change in every single game. It always been like that ever since the early days of MK3 because all the ninjas had the same look. Besides if Sub Zero's unmasked, but that's why in the later games they want them to have their own different design. They didn't want it to be like, oh, they get to look the same. I wanted to, I want to be, and they, I want to be like MK3 might. And that's what this guy does. He hates on the fact that people like telling him, we're not in Mortal Kombat 3 anymore. This is today, not in the past. This ain't 1995. And that's what's wrong with him. So he basically calling him a shill because he says something about Tanya's look, and then when they actually improved on Tanya's look, it's only because she made an angry face. That's ugly to you because they gotta have facial expressions when they talk. I guess we gotta look like him, bald headed, pointy nose. Oh my god. Okay, let's continue.
No.
I'm not
First of
saying
all, so
I'm not saying you're dishonest, and I'm not saying you haven't earned where you got. Seriously, like sincerely. Honestly.
okay, because that sounds a lot different than what you've been saying the past, like, I don't know, like 5 million YouTube videos you made about me. Because
Okay.
it's always about like, oh, the shills, man, the shills. So
Well,
you're saying
yeah, that's
that
a
it's a
perception.
perception. It's a perception that I'm a shill. Okay, so what gives off the perception that I'm a shill? And then you said that there's a lot of things that I will not call out, or things that I have backtracked on, and you brought up the Tanya situation.
Yeah.
Do you remember what I said about the Tanya situation?
The first one.
No, yeah, about the entire thing. Yes.
The first one you said that because there was obviously a lot of flack because 10 got revealed and everyone was like,
Mhm.
wow, this is big. And I think you said, don't let people gaslight you over not
Mhm.
liking this scene. And I thought that's really fucking awesome. And
Okay,
then
yep.
not long later, it seemed like you were telling people that they shouldn't be critical of how she looks.
I didn't say that.
Or,
So
or,
what
no,
I said,
like
I'll
the
read you.
general.
I'll read you the tweet so you can have an actual an accurate understanding of what I said.
Cool.
So the first thing I said was, "Don't let Twitter gaslight you into thinking you're racist for not liking Tanya's new design.
Yep.
Not liking her new design has nothing to do with her race, unless someone is saying so, which I have seen, and that's wrong.
Yep.
White people stop virtue signaling challenge. I like to be a little bit spicy there. Then the tweet that you say that I backtracked on is saying, I'd like to see those outraged Bay YouTubers make new videos and use this image of Tanya instead of that same image of her yelling and being angry. Let's see how they'll justify her calling up.
Yes, that's the one thing I actually agree with what Bruce is saying, because you gotta realize that's just an early look of her in a trailer for the game. It was an early look of her in the trailer because when you look at her in the game, in the actual game, she looks okay. So what the hell are you complaining about? You gotta realize that was a game trailer for the game. It wasn't her final look like this picture you see here on the screen. I mean, even Chameleon looks great. Of course, I seen the Crunchy trailer and Chameleon looks amazing. Kind of wish she could have been playable though, because I don't know why. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. Half those characters in the game could have been playable. It's just sad. But anyway, we're not talking about those characters. So yeah, they basically used that picture of her when she's yelling at Lee May from the trailer. She ugly. She ugly, mate. She ugly, mate. I mean, he made like shit, like I think like 10 to 20 videos of that. I mean, he even hate on Katana's look and Melina's look and saying they look ugly without their mask on. When they take off their mask, mate, they ugly, mate. But they look great with the mask on, mate. It's just stupid. I mean, like you see, guys, that's what I was talking about. Like, it's just so sad. Like he sit here and complain, hates on this game, and calling the women ugly, saying this woke agenda shit, and call it a LGBT shit. Like, I mean, like I don't support that shit. I know he does because secretly he does, but it's sad you call the women ugly and you have pictures of women in your darn thumbnail. The little picture thing that comes on the screen when you click on one of these videos. He has a sexy ass woman, black hair woman, with her showing her body and everything. But in reality, you're basically getting getting obsessed over the women not obsessed of wanting the women to still look like how they did in the older games. So, say for example, like how they were in MK9 or MK3 or Deception or Deadly Alliance, it don't really matter. In those older games, you will be obsessed over that, but hate because, like I said earlier, uh, Warner Brothers mostly there's a lot of kids associate with Warner Brothers because of the cartoons and all that stuff. And that's why, like I said, they have to be appropriate. So you can tell, yeah, they're killing, ripping out their heads and skulls and spines and all that shit. But they have to be appropriate with it. And so they can get away with that. But like I said, this whole bullshit LGBT shit, all that crap, it's the reason why the games are not fun because that and you got a bald headed man sitting here obsessed over a older obsessed that the game should be like how it was in MK3. And it's sad. So sad. So yeah, we can it's ridiculous. And that's what Bruss basically is telling him. Like they hated how she actually looked and how they actually fixed her look. Because I watched the story mode before the game came out, and I'm like, wow, Tanya actually looks great. And I'm like, how? And then I realized like that was just an early beta version of her in a trailer, right? Because it was Tanya, Lee May, Baraka, yeah, Baraka, yeah. So there's no point. Like I said, guys, that's what he does. That's what he does. Let's continue.
Ugly, or the Mortal Kombat females ugly now. Otherwise, they can't. I was not talking about her looks in my original tweet. In my original tweet, I was talking about her design. And in the second tweet, the one that you say that I backtracked on, I was talking about the people who were making fun of her face, making fun of that shot of her yelling when she's telling when Limei says "Let us pass, Tanya."
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about. I wasn't talking about defending her design. What I was talking about in the first one, when I was saying it's not racist for you to not like design, I'm talking purely about the design. I'm not talking about like her face or anything like that, which is what my second tweet was about. So I didn't backtrack on anything. I was talking about a completely different thing. So you got that totally wrong.
Well, isn't the face and design one of the same?
No,
Why not?
no. People were calling her ugly. If you were to think that, then well, okay, whatever. But that's not what I was talking about. I was talking about her design, the hair, the clothes that she wears, and all that. I wasn't talking about how ugly she was.
But your second tweet comes after all the people that are talking about how, yet again, NetherRealm has seemingly this issue with making women attractive.
But she doesn't. Okay, well, it's a little bit weird that I don't know if we really want to get in the territory of calling these women ugly and stuff because I mean the image that I brought up in the second tweet, and you guys, anybody who wants to do it, go just tweet, search at Rust Poet Tanya. I used images where she actually looked really good.
Like I said a while ago, but the bald headed guy, Bait, don't understand. The character and the design that the costume she wears are not the same damn thing. So let's say this Scorpion. Scorpion, white eyes, and Scorpion's MK3 costume. What is Scorpion is his white eyes that we all know from the older games. White eyes. And the costume that he wears is separate from the actual character himself because it's not Scorpion without the white eyes. Yeah, Scorpion looks human now and all that stuff, and we all know that. But it's the character traits that we remember him of. So, like, it's not Scorpion without the white eyes. And it's true. So, like, Tanya, like, I know MK4, she had the, no, she has the regular, she's like a regular person. And then I think Deception, it made her look morely like Scorpion. So I was like, hmm? She has the white eyes and all of that. Like, wow. I'm like, that's weird. I mean, like, that is kind of strange. But that's what we know of her. I mean, not know, I mean, know of Scorpion because of the white eyes. But like I said earlier, all the characters were not going to still look the same like they did in the previous game. It's not the same. It's always going to be different. Every single game. It's not going to be, they better still look at the side bite. They better look at the side bite. the one thing, the one video he was talking about, they should be still in MK3 looks and all that stuff. I'm like, dude, we're not in 1995 anymore. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And the character and the character's costume are not the same. It's two different things. so wrong.
And the only reason why a lot of people were making fun of her face was because of that one shot where she was yelling and she had her mouth open and things like that.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, she looked funny. I didn't deny that she looked funny, but I didn't call her ugly. I didn't say that she looked bad or that her face is weird or anything like that, which is what a lot of people like you were saying. And I was telling, and then second stream, I was saying, no, that's wrong. I didn't say that. Even in the review that I made, which I'm sure you didn't even watch, in the review where when I was going over like the whole controversy over Tanya, I was talking about like, hey, I think it's really weird that some people are commenting some really weird things about her face, calling her ugly and things like that. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about her design and the way she looks in terms of like her clothing style and things.
And
her face has nothing to do with the design.
Well, kind of. Like for me, it's kind of.
No, it don't.
Like for example, like if you could have the hottest chick from the neck down, but if she's got a face like a bashed up crab, it doesn't matter about the rest of it. You know what I mean? Like
okay, but I can also say the same of like
what?
Tara, like at least in my view. Like yeah, we got Megan Fox, she's hot, but she has like an ugly ass costume. Like I don't know what the hell that is. It's not one of the same. I can reverse that and like do it the other way around. I can say that a girl looks really beautiful, like in terms of the face model, but like the design looks really ugly, and I can talk about how ugly that design is.
So let's give you the.
And that's the same thing, and that's exactly what I did with Tanya. I was talking about how ugly the design of Tanya is, but I wasn't commenting about her face. I didn't say anything about her face.
So, like.
See, well, Megan Fox playing the Tara, I was not like impressed. I mean, same with Ronda Rousey as Sonya, because I think originally Kerry Hoskin was supposed to have came back and played Sonya, but you know how that was with NRS, because she's the well. I know what they did in MK1 now, because I think the original actor that played Sonya in the first game, I think you can use that look. You can use the original MK1 look and the MK3 look. But originally, Kerry Hoskin was supposed to return and played Sonya. Like how they had the MK movie actors to play the characters too. But it would have been cool if they added I think it would have been so awesome they added Robert Shield as Liu Kang and Talisa Soto's Kitana. That would have been perfect. But in reality, like I said, I was not impressed over that. Like it was not, oh my god, like how Shang Tsung was played by the guy that played him in the movie. Like, and basically, if you realize the Shang Tsung that's in MK1 is basically inspired off the freaking movie that they released. The new movie they released. I'm like, shit. Makes sense, right? Makes sense. So, Atara design, her costume, like I'm not really impressed over her costume. But they did what they did. But they're not always going to have the original looks. I mean, like I said, they like if you want that original look, if they make the costume, there you go. So that's all I have to say. But it's just sad. He'll call the women ugly and say, "Oh, they look so sexy at the waist style, Mike, but they're ugly in the face, Mike." I mean, can you see how fucked up that is?
To me, first, I mean, I think Zendel's probably the most attractive woman in terms of face wise in the game, which is ironic because I thought that in MK11 she probably was the most attractive as well. But like there is an absolute direction design wise when it comes to femininity, especially with some developers changing these things, right? Under the guise of saving oppression or whatever the fuck excuses they come up with, which don't seem to happen. Say for example, like the Tekken 8 development. Right? The point is though is that like you do the second suite right smack bang while everything is still blowing up about the first. everyone's still talking about it. It opened up a can of worms.
I
Again.
made that second tweet in September, and the first one I talked about saying don't let Twitter gaslight you was in July.
Was July? No, July wasn't shown with Tanya, was it?
July was the first one. Yeah, I was.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So it's a bit of time. So wow, everyone's all very passionate. So, but that's the thing though. Like, even the perception of that.
So you don't understand exactly what I was saying. It was like, oh, I said it right immediately after the whole debacle. No, like this was like a few months after, and it was a completely different topic.
But
So you don't even know what you were talking about. You don't know why you got mad at me. This is like a go-to example of me being a shill and the perception of me being a shill, and you weren't even informed about that.
See, you never asked. You never said it. You never said it.
Okay, what's the second example?
He can't think of.
Okay, well, like, hey, you can't have a characterization of me if you can't bring up examples of why you have that characterization. It seems like it's just pure hatred.
I don't hate you, bro.
Over, I don't even know what it is. I mean,
Yes,
it may not be. I mean, to you, it probably isn't pure hatred. Obviously, that's a little bit hyperbole.
Yeah,
but I mean, when I say, like, hey, can you give me an example of me acting like a shield? Because it's all about perception. Perception comes from, the actions that I do. What are the actions that I do that say that I'm a shill?
See, guys? See? He never answered. Hey. I mean, he is completely asking him, why is he a shill? And he will not answer. He won't. That's sad, right? Like, I don't even if I ever never if I had met this person, if I actually had met him and he called me a shill, and I'm thinking, why the hell am I a shill? What did I do? I mean, like it's sad. he never even answered him. Why is he a shill? Why am I a shill? Didn't I even give him an answer? So basically, the whole debate is basically telling lies and saying he's a shill. He's a shill. He's a shill. You're a shill, Mike. You're a shill, Mike. You're a shill, Mike. Like I said, guys, this video is just so fun. I mean, like, completely, like, I was like, what the fuck? Because people will send me clips of this. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't know this was made, but I didn't realize that because somebody had said that he deleted the live screens or removed them so you don't see them. Because I think the one that's up now is the one with Tom Brady, I think. More Tom Brady. I think it's MK Tom Brady, I think it's him. And I think that's the one that's up now. But I don't know about his or I don't know if his got removed or not. I think it did. And that's how Bruss made these two videos of him and Total MK. So I was like, damn. See, I didn't know because, like I said, I don't keep up with this Fate's channel at all because I don't. Because one time somebody wanted me to join his Discord, and technically all his Discord is just to hate on people and calling people shills and stands and all that shit. That's all it's about. And because originally his Twitter got taken down, I think back in like June, and so he had to make a whole another one, and that's basically what he's doing now is going around on a lot of these people's Twitter pages and stuff, and if people are playing more Kombat 1 and all that stuff, he'll hate on people for playing the game, and that's true because I think somebody told me like he got his ass kicked. I think it was in Combat League or something. And technically, that's why he's making all these 10 to 20, 30 to 50, 100 videos. Calling, you're a shield, mate. You're a shield, mate. Ever since the release of MK1. And that's what he's been doing all this time. It's just ridiculous. Now you guys know. Let's continue.
And you just said right there, I don't have one on me. What do you? So like, why do you have that judgment?
Oh, I'm not judging you, bro.
You have that judgment. You've labeled me a shill. That's what you have done. That's the characterization you have for me. That's the narrative that you spin in your YouTube videos.
A lot of people do.
Okay.
What?
And they that doesn't matter.
Listen,
What matters is why is that the case? That's what we're here talking about.
Yeah,
What
okay,
we're talking
cool.
about right now
Yeah.
is why you have that perception.
Okay.
And I'm asking you, what brings you that perception? Can you give me an example
Because
of me acting like a
okay,
shill?
again, example using what you said. Right.
Let's go another one. Yeah, you got one.
No. I'm using the first one. We'll stick to that. Right.
Okay,
What?
but I've already debunked that. We've already talked about
It's
like
not-
those weren't even like the different things.
It's not a debunk. It's perception. This is what I was saying to you. Right? People think that people in higher positions, when they get all of these little favors, and then you see people publicly start to sort of, as you said, you didn't just reply back and say, "Oh, here's a really nice picture of Tanya. I don't think she's, she's added that first image." You said, what did you say? Rage
I
bait.
said I'd like to see those outrage bait YouTubers make new YouTube videos using this image of Tanya instead of using that same image of her yelling and being angry.
So you take that first. Sorry, you take the first one. You take the second one.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't see that people can go, hang on a sec. First, he's saying everyone's cool. It's okay to not like a design, right? Not obviously.
Mhm.
I mean, I wasn't thinking race. I don't give a shit. I've been calling out the women thing out in MK for a while now. I don't care who they are
Okay.
or what race. But
Okay, weird.
so that's fine. Right? Did you say weird?
No, okay, keep on.
Anyway, and then you come back, right? And you do
Yeah.
this closer to the release of the game.
Mhm.
And suddenly you're going, oh, these rage the rage baiters out there are now they need to do this on this other picture. Now, what's really interesting is that the 10-year reveal trailer wasn't just that picture. There were actually other parts of the trailer that showed her face. Which
Yeah,
I
but
believe,
a lot of people, and my point was that a lot of people were using that same image saying that she looks ugly, she looks terrible, and all that. But like, there was other shots of her, and she looks just fine. And that's what my point was. That's what I was talking about. That
See? He basically is sitting here saying he can't give a good perception of what the hell he's trying to say perception, because he can't, because he's telling a lie, because he said Tanya picture. See, you gotta realize that's a game trailer, like I said earlier a while ago. That is a game trailer, and she is not gonna look the same like how she actually did in the game trailer. Like, that same clip is still in the story mode of the game, but her face is still look great in the game. She actually looks nice in the game. And I'm not lying about that. But Fate is basically one of those YouTubers that basically hates on anything that somebody doesn't really talk on, and just bash on people that don't care, don't really like. I don't care. Like I said, I don't care how they look. Like, you're a shield, mate. You're a shield. That's basically what he basically saying. And then saying like they that NetherRealm City will give you favors and all that stuff, and saying they give you this and give you that. They don't do that. I mean, completely. Like, the whole Sonic Fox thing. Y'all know the fact Sonic Fox ain't no more Kombat fan. I mean, was this asshole around during the MK Deception days and MK Deadly Alliance or MK3? No. Same with Brusque. Uncaged Games. None of them. They were not even around. I mean, I grew up in the era of MK3. Like, I didn't play Mortal Kombat until 2000. And I was 3 years old when I played Mortal Kombat for the first time. And the first game I ever played in Mortal Kombat is still my favorite game till this very day. Is Mortal Kombat Trilogy. And it still is till this day. That's the only game out of the arcade era that I would actually play. Because MK3 was incomplete. Y'all know it was. Ultimate was not that great either. Look at the computer. And MK1 and MK2, you expect to win by jumping and kicking and hitting the opponents? Not all the time. Trust me. I mean, like, I wouldn't be doing that. But that's what this guy do. It's just sad.
That is separate from what she's wearing and her whole design. That's the separate from the hair that she has. That's separate from the clothes that she wears. That's all separate. I didn't talk about how ugly she is and how like she's being masculinized using that same image of her face.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a totally different thing. In the second tweet, that's what I was talking about. In the first one, I was talking about her design.
Yeah. But people do conflate all of it together.
Okay, and that's their fault for not being able to read the differences. And knowing full knowledge that I made a YouTube video, once again, I'll repeat this because I already told you that. I made a YouTube video talking about this whole controversy, and I was saying how it's really ridiculous how people are accusing others of being racist for not liking Tanya's new design. However, disclaimer here, there are people being weird about calling her ugly using that same image of her face.
Well,
and I said, no, I'm not, yeah. And I said, like, no, that's wrong, and I don't have a problem with her face. Her face is fine. I don't think she's ugly. But her design is where I'm focused on. This is where I'm focused on. Mm-hmm. And that's what I said. That's what my tweet was about in the first one, the first Tanya tweet that I had. The second one was all about her face and the topic of like, oh, they're masculinizing females. Oh, she looks really ugly in the shot. They're making Tanya look ugly. When it was just like a one frame shot, which again, I've already admitted looks a little bit weird, but that's how NetherRealm faces look when they're close up shots. You know, in Justice 2, there was a few shots of Supergirl where you look at where you give a close up shot of her and she looks really fucking weird. That happens in NetherRealm games. But my whole point was like, stop using that one shot when there's like plenty of other shots that they have of Tanya where she looks totally fine face wise.
What about people that are saying that they just still find her ugly anyway and they hate the design regardless? They're not rage
okay, then that's just a little. That's fucking weird. That's really fucking weird. Yeah, I think that's. I don't know because I mean I don't agree. I think that's weird that you're just calling a girl ugly that doesn't look ugly. It's not to me.
Well, that comes down to personal preference, though. But you didn't say.
Yeah,
that,
it does. But I think it's a little bit weird going out there and calling women ugly when this is a real face model we're talking about.
No, I didn't say
this isn't just like some animated character and stuff. Which if it was like an animated, well, I mean, obviously it is animated because it's it's in a video game. But like like a Disney type of art style kind of character. Like yeah, like calling a girl ugly there. Who the fuck cares? It's make believe. But this is somebody who actually has a real face.
I didn't
so
say
you're like literally calling that person ugly.
No, I didn't.
Yes, he did.
Model was beautiful.
Yes, he did.
Actually, the voice model and the face model actually are beautiful.
Well, sure. I mean, I probably I'll give you that. I misworded it. I didn't say you specifically, but like those who are, because the question was like, what about?
See how fate just lied, just like that. You called the woman ugly and everything in his video, and you guys can go look at that video right now, as I speak. See how he just lied, just like that. You did call her. You called the face model ugly and the character ugly. See? That's how you know he lying. He lying.
those who say that her face and her design is ugly at the same time. But that's what I meant to address, not you
Okay.
specifically.
And look, like that's fine. Like at the end of the day, everyone has preferences, and that's cool. But
Yeah.
but as seeing how like NetherRealm has been going with a lot of different things that they've been going on about, it seems that there seems to be a very protected class of people that are at the top that seem to sometimes maybe not address things as they should. Like now, I'm not saying you've got to do anything. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying though is that like when you've got things, for example, like player one advantage, and I was talking earlier about it, massive game ranking bug. You know, it only seemed to gain traction only when someone like say Super talks about it, right? Like you got people prior to that for like a week or two trying to get the attention and saying this is an issue, this is an issue, it's got to be fixed or whatever. But only until it gets to the big weeks do finally Ed Boon suddenly, oh, okay, now we got to do something, right? So,
what is the specific? Like, because you're being very vague. You're like, this is a protected class, and then closer to something, they listen to Super. That's what I'm getting at. What are we getting at here?
I mean, I would consider you the
See, look, player one advantage and all that stuff. That been like that ever since the arcade days. I'm not lying, and it still is till this day. Cause in those games like MK3 or MK2, really don't matter what game, and Trilogy sometimes as well, you will lose on the third or the fourth person on the ladder every time in the arcade version of the game. But see, what I liked about it in Trilogy, there are certain characters in the game that can easily beat it with oh the boss characters. No, a regular character too. So like say I like Raiden in MK Trilogy. He's actually very great to play with. I mean he's basically my best player to beat the game with easily. It's him, Cyrax, and I say Sector or Cyborg Smoke. And hmm, oh, can't forget Noob Saibot and Rain and Ermac and Sub Zero. I can win with Scorpion, but it has to be a ladder without the female characters like Jade. Because if Jade's on the ladder, shit, you better be prepared. Because like I said, like if it's a ladder without Jade, I'm all right. I'm okay. So that's that's the only problem of MK3 and Trilogy. But player one advantage been like that ever since those games, like Deception, Deadly Alliance, and it depends on how you play the game. It depends on your strategy, and it depends on how you try to do the move and all that stuff. See, that's what I kind of find in those games that I realize that when I play them. But it's just sad how he just sit here saying, uh, "Only care for those guys that put the dynamite." But you realize that you can't just sit down and just practice. Why do you think it's a practice mode in the fucking game? I mean, when they added a practice mode in the later MK games, I was like happy. I mean, the only game that had a practice mode, I think, was Killer Instinct, and that's true in the old in Killer Instinct and Killer Instinct Gold. So I realized why are you mad about them at not? I mean, in those days of MK3 and Trilogy, you couldn't practice. You had to learn how to play it. Not like today, we can look at the moves now on the site, and we can learn how to play as the characters. Yeah, today, but I'm talking about back then. We had to learn how to press. Okay, top button, high kick, low kick, bottom button is high punch, medium punch. Like that. Like we need we hit a computer. We sit in front of it. We learn to do the combos. No, you have to learn them. So those games do not have a practice mode. Because the first game that actually had a practice mode was MK4. And that's how I kind of, when I started playing that game, I'm like, oh, this actually has a practice mode. That's pretty cool. But he can't just sit down and practice. And that's why he calling people shills and stands. And like I said earlier, just so sad, man.
Being up there, like you're a pretty big YouTuber, you've obviously had a lot of access and
Sure.
what do you call it, things that have happened. Do you not think that people wonder whether or not, you know, when you talk about this and talk about that, you're being 100% honest, or you're trying to protect interests?
When have I been dishonest? That's the
No,
big
I'm
question.
asking. No, I'm asking you
No,
directly.
I know, but I
Yeah.
would that would be my response. The question is when am I dishonest? Do I have a track record of lying?
No?
Do I have a track record of actually being a shill? When?
Well,
Like that's
what-
that
what
was
I'm
the whole
asking.
that was the that's the whole that's the whole point. Because you've been calling me a shill. This is the narrative that you have been putting on me. And then when I come and ask you what's an example of that, of me being a shill, what's giving you this perception, you're not giving me an answer, and you come back to that Tanya thing. And I already told you those are two totally different things. Those two were not related. I wasn't backtracking on anything. I was saying the same exact thing that I've always been saying since the very beginning.
Okay.
So I ask you again, what is also giving you the perception of me being a shill? I asked you, I'm asking you, if, like, I don't, this is probably the first time I've asked you, give me an example
okay.
of me being a shill.
Okay, so I'm going through, because you said I did a whole bunch of videos on you, so now I'm going to
Yeah, you did, yeah.
pull them up.
Yeah, so you
Not so many.
you,
Well, I mean, I do a lot of.
you didn't expect to be confronted on me giving ass like that, so you got to bring something up to get
No,
you.
it's a,
I'm okay with that. Yeah, like fine, at least get yourself some material to work with.
oh, well, I'm just saying, like, you're asking me, like, I'm saying stuff, and that's fine.
Yeah, I know
Right.
exactly. Like I'm asking you a question. If you don't have it, but if you want to go look for it, go ahead. I'll give you your time. Go ahead.
Now, you, like, as well, so I found my videos, here you go. Right. So I'm asking you, and you probably actually can't say it's probably a waste of the question, but do you actually have any sort of special favors that you get?
I mean, there will be
What?
times where I do get them, yes.
Okay, so for example,
But I don't like right now. I don't have it like an early build of the next DLC pack
No,
right now.
no, that's fine.
Yeah.
But what was it? I was gonna say shit. Hang on.
See,
So when the beta codes went out,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
How did you get a beta code?
They sent me one.
Okay. So you didn't even have to apply.
I did apply, but they sent me one.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So and that was purely for the pool of people, like for yourself. Like I'm assuming, like I obviously couldn't have done it, right?
Mhm.
So
You may have if you reached out. There was a lot of really small content creators that got some.
bro, they wouldn't give me life support if I asked for it if I was dying. Right? It's fine.
I mean, maybe you'll ask. Maybe not now, but I mean, before you made all these tirades on NRS shills and stuff and NRS bad and
yeah, because I don't have a PlayStation 5. My brother does, and he actually did play the demo of the game before he got the game. So it's shocking if all he had to do was apply and you got the beta access code, but in reality, he, like I said, he's been hating on his game ever since it was announced and got mad when people were playing the game or beta, demo, and all that stuff, access. But oh my god, Tekken 8's amazing, mate. And that game is not going to be good either. So I already know it's not. Trust me. But that's how you get it because it's a demo of the game, and you get access to it when you apply to it. And like what Russ just said, people that have smaller YouTube channels can get it too. So like I told you guys just now, my brother had played the demo of the game, beta access, before the game came out in September, and now he has the game. But if this guy was not sitting around hating on the game every single day, he would have it. But well, he has it now because he has like I think he bought like 4 copies of it. I'm like, why the fuck would you buy 4 copies of the same fucking game? Stupid.
MK1 bad, and hey, there's plenty of criticisms that I have of them. So like plenty, we'll talk about them. But like you probably don't know about that because you focus on the fact that I'm a shill, but or supposedly a shill. But
It's not the only thing, bro.
well, yeah, but I'm just saying like, oh yeah, you got special privileges from with the beta code. Yeah, I did. That doesn't mean I'm a shill because there's
Okay.
plenty of other small YouTubers and small streamers that I know that
True.
have like 50 viewers and shit, like basically nothing, that got a code.
Okay, well, I didn't.
Are you gonna call them a shill, like those fucking nobodies?
No.
Because why aren't you looking out for the little guy? Like those people who don't have anything.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Right.
well, they did too as well. Maybe not everybody got some, but I remember the Injustice 2 days. Almost nobody got the fucking code. I sure didn't. So yeah.
So, one of the videos.
But yes, I got a code. I don't understand how that makes me a shill. Do I get privileges? Yes, but that doesn't mean I'm a shill.
On the 17th of September, somebody put out a comment, Ashra Coming Grass. It was talking about how we only get 3 costumes per character, only 1 PV, 22 character base, roster, 23 plus Shank, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Right? Your response was to that. Your information, you get new skins, gear, palettes, invasions, maps, and more coming
true.
every 6 weeks.
All true.
Completely ignore the grind.
I could talk about the grind. The grind is totally. I've already talked about that in my review. I've talked about how the grind is really egregious. I've said that numerous times on my stream
Okay,
and on my videos
but not here.
because we're not talking about the grind.
No, but what I'm saying,
Exactly. Like, well, that's not the topic of conversation in that tweet.
Yeah. So you responded,
Yeah.
and you said crossplay coming, but it should have been
Mhm.
there.
Yeah, it should have been there. Yep.
So that's a massive issue for a lot of people, right? So
It is, and I understand that.
so everyone at the top is basically going, yeah, we'd really like it, but it's coming. Just be patient.
Do you want it not to come?
No, I paid for a product that should be there on day one.
Okay, I know, and I've said that. I said the crossplay should be on there, but it is coming, and I'm
Right.
glad it's coming. I would rather it be coming soon than have it not be there at all.
Right?
You would agree with that?
See, the whole thing about the whole grinding thing and all that shit, you gotta realize, like, see, they will complain about how it used to be back in the Deadly Alliance days and Deception days. Like, you had to go here to get a costume here, you gotta go there, you gotta go there, you gotta be at this certain time to get it. I mean, like, the only problem in Deception that I actually had problems with was Blue King. I mean, he was the hardest character to get. I mean, completely. I think you had to be like on a Friday to get him. Right, like right after midnight or something like that, and you get him. He was actually the hardest character to unlock, and it was true. And fun fact, like I didn't know at the time of when we first had got Deception, I didn't know Liu Kang was in the game. So that's what was surprising about it. Like, what? Liu Kang's in the game? Like I didn't know at all. So like as of now, like I have Deception. I actually unlocked all the characters and costumes and stuff. Only thing I don't have a PS2. I still have a memory card, but I don't have the PS2 anymore. But definitely would love to get another console just to play that game again. But it was fun unlocking the characters and the costumes and stuff. Like it was not a grind, really, really. And it took me only it took me like 3 days to unlock the characters. Well, yeah, it took me 3 days to unlock the characters, and yeah, it took me 3 days to unlock the characters, and it took me uh 1 day to unlock the costumes and stuff. So, because the costumes were not hard to get at all, but the characters, like, well, Liu Kang was the hardest one. So, like I said a while ago, Liu Kang was actually the hardest character to unlock in Deception. But as to all the other stuff, like, it's not a grind because it was actually fun. And like same with Deadly Alliance, like you go to the crypt, you unlock the costumes, unlock the stages, unlock the characters. You find some cool videos in the crypt and stuff. Like, it was fun. I mean, like, it's a grind. It's a grind. No, it's not. I mean, like, that's pretty a cool thing they actually added into the game because like, oh, put this code in, you can play with smoke. I'm like, why do I have to do that? He's already playable. So like the games after like Armageddon is basically what Deadly Alliance did. And of course MK versus DC did not have that because a lot of people, the game's horrible, it's trash. But you're playing a game that inspired it, Injustice. Well, MK versus DC is the inspiration to Injustice, God Among Us. Then of course MK9 basically did the crypt, made like an open world thing, and MKX did it. And of course, I kind of thinking the invasions could have been like MK11's crypt, because if they actually had kept it like that, you can pick a certain character and have them walk around the whole stage and stuff. That would have been pretty fun. But they basically went the format of the whole mobile game because that's what they done. But it's not a grind because I mean, like, even so, I have not unlocked all the costumes in MK11, but I don't really care for them. Really, I don't, because like, oh, just a purple Liu Kang. Like, I don't need that color. You don't look great in no purple. Like, I don't care for that. But do I have to get all the costumes and be like a obsessed Mortal Kombat fan like Fate? No, because that's what he does. See, he hates the fact that because you want that costume, you gotta pay for it. And I'm thinking like the whole DLC thing did not start until MK9, and of course we bought the characters' costumes in that game, did we not? Hmm. And you're bitching about them buying fatalities and all that stuff. Like, yeah, like okay, like what's the problem with that? I mean, when we got MK9 DLC, Scorpion actually had his extra fatality, that his classic fatality, the Toasty fatality. And Sub Zero had his spine ripped. And I think Reptile had his tongue, his tongue grab fatality. So I'm like, we bought the DLC characters, the DLC costumes and all that stuff, and that was no problem. It's a bullshit, Mike. It's a bullshit, Mike. It's just so sad. Let's continue.
Right? Would you agree? Would you do you want there? Do you want crossplay to be there in Mortal Kombat One, like soon?
In general, absolutely.
Okay, then that's what I was talking about. Yes.
Like, you can see from the point of view that when we've got betas for Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, with crossplay enabled, region select enabled, all that sort of all the fluff and stuff, in beta, then
They have the crossplay, yeah. Even in beta, they have crossplay, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've talked about, and again, I'll repeat this again. I've talked about that, and I've said that
Right.
yes, they should be there. But I'm glad it's coming.
Right.
I will say I'm glad it's coming.
You said Invasions is crit, which it's not even close, but
I mean, it's supposed to be. I mean, it works the same way. I mean, I don't like Invasions too much, but it is this version of the crit. That's what I was trying to say.
Now this last line is absolutely the issue because this is how they.
This is the Shill one. This is the smoking gun. Okay.
Well, it's not so much the smoking gun; it's the dismissiveness.
Okay.
Again,
Right.
I'm not saying you're a bad person, bro.
Oh yeah, yes he is.
But what I'm
Yes
saying,
he is. He is. He
When
actually
you're saying
is.
I'm bought and paid for, you're giving this perception that I will give myself up, give up my values for something greater, for something benefit.
No,
You understand that, right?
I'm saying
that's something that a bad person would do.
no. People have attention to being what do you call it?
Okay.
To survive.
You're giving this bad person perception, I would say, like this bad person narrative. Even if you're not saying it directly, that is what you do. That is the narrative that you spin. That is the rhetoric that is created when you keep saying things like being bought and paid for, me being a shill, me putting Vaseline and all over my lips and sucking NRS's dick, which is a direct quote from you.
That's funny.
These are all.
That's not funny.
These are all like things that you would say to somebody that you don't like, somebody that you have would.
That's not funny.
Well, I think maybe I just say shit.
Okay.
I sincerely
Okay.
don't.
See, guys. He will tell a different tale and tell a different twist and say different things. And calling people shills because if they buy something that they're playing, like say example, if when I said I will get PS5 soon, will I buy MK1? Maybe, but I'm not gonna be like obsessed over it and act like a asshole like this guy does because he basically is sitting here every single day of the week. There's never been a day that he doesn't talk about Mortal Kombat and bash on it because I think 2 weeks ago he hated the fact that I think it was the week of Thanksgiving. Um, they had updated Killer Instinct and basically update the game, and he said the game, it's bullshit, mate. But they update a 10-year-old game. It's bad, mate. Because the game can now be played on Steam. Because of course the game's on the Xbox One, and I think you can't play on the Xbox Series because it's backwards compatible. And bitched about it because people are playing that game again. And like, I do plan on getting an Xbox One and play Killer Instinct, but of course, you know how that be. You have to buy the Xbox Gold, or Xbox Game Pass, and all that shit just to play online. Of course, just like PlayStation Plus. Yeah, but I'm not going to be bitching about people playing a game that they used to play. I mean, come on. And he's just mad because people go back and play older games and have fun playing those games. And that's how it was all this year with DK Oldies. They got mad because people going buying older consoles like PlayStation 2s or Xbox 360s or PS3s and going back playing those old games again. They don't like that. They want you to play something that's relevant now, that's today, and they want you to feel like how they feel. Because if I can sit in, if I sit in front of, if I sit in if I'm at my friend's house and I sit in front of his TV watching him play Last of Us all day long, because that game story doesn't make me feel inspired. It kind of make me feel look at it like disappointment. And of course, I don't really care for The Last of Us, so I really don't care. But that's how these today games are. Like same with God of War, same with Resident Evil. It's just you get disappointed. Like those kind of games just make you disappoint. Like I can't sit there and play those all day. That's how it be sometimes. So he basically, like I said, saying you support NetherRealm Studios and you suck their dick and all that shit, like all that crap, kiss their ass and all that. So it's basically what he's telling Brusk. So because like I said, he's an asshole.
On the things that you say. On the things that you say.
Like you can say stuff about me. It doesn't bother me, bro. Like that's fine. Like like I
Oh, really?
don't have any malice. I just say shit, right? But then this is again this again just an example. The last line to this is all free in capitals content.
Yep. Everything that you get in Invasions is free.
Yeah. True.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Except it's like the worst, most grindy, egregious mode akin to mobile gaming that has ever been in a mobile game. Sorry, in a Mortal Kombat game. Right? It doesn't matter
Are
whether
the seasonal skins grindy?
Yes.
The ones that you go over to the menu and you go and buy?
Hang on, are you talking about the hang on. Alright, yeah. So you're talking about the silver coin ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So those are grindy? Where you only have to
It takes a lot to get through invasions, right?
Yeah, but like to unlock individual skins?
Well, yeah,
if we're talking about the grinded invasions, we're mainly talking about the skins within invasions, not the seasonal ones. And I was talking in that tweet the seasonal skins that we get every year.
Are you talking about the skins that you unlock in a tower, or are you talking about the skins that you unlock in the seasonal skin menu store? Yeah.
The one with the silver coins, yes.
Yeah, so that takes a while to grind up a point.
Yeah, but that's not a lot of coins. That's something that you can probably buy like 2 skins or 3 skins that you want for your top three favorite characters within one map. And honestly, a lot of people have actually said that season 2 of Invasions is a lot less grinding.
Yeah, because they.
And I remember you specifically in your YouTube video saying that you don't mind Invasions too much.
Yeah, remember that?
You didn't originally.
Okay, so you want to change your topic, all right?
No, I'm saying that like when I first saw Invasions,
not topic, but yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
It was sort of akin to Deadly Alliance, kind of that layout running around in that particular perspective, kind of thing, right? And I actually had high hopes for Invasions, so I thought, well, here we go. We've got a really good way for them to kind of like, pump out a lot of sort of like additional storytelling for Invasions. With obviously, the seasonal meta, which I didn't know that you would have to then regrind through everything again, because we're not playing out a story every time. You know what I mean? So, when Natara season came in, we couldn't just go to the Natara Mesa and do it. We had to then.
Of course, there's going to be some sort of grinded video games, though. Right. You have to understand that. Whether or not, to what degree should the grind be? That's a different topic. But I wasn't wrong in saying that all of those skins that I was talking about, the seasonal skins every 6 weeks and all that, and the seasonal gear that we get every 6 weeks. What I said was not wrong. It was free.
True.
But it's a different conversation to be had about the grind.
Well, that's the point, though. That's why, and you specifically said free in capitals. I get it. Obviously, to make a note that yes, all of these things are post-launch. Excuse me, that nobody's paying for. However,
all right, guys. I mean, that guy's so stupid. Okay, he basically saying it's a grind because you go to play invasions mode, and it's a grind to get the costumes and stuff, and you realize like MK11, it was, yeah, it was kind of bad, but because I wanted that Melina MK3 costume. So I think it was in October. I think it was October or November, and not last month. It was I think it was October, and I finally got her costume. I think it came around like I guess because during Halloween time when it came out. I forgot what time frame that costume was exclusive when. But like I said, I was so happy I had finally got that costume because of course I love MK3. Yeah, well, that design of the costume from the era of Mortal Kombat because that's what I grew up with, and I had a lot of time crystals, so because I played the towers a lot of times, just get random costumes or get random fake brutalities or whatever. So when I finally got that costume, I was like, yes, finally got it. Like I saw that costume in the shop, I was like, gotta get it. But for that game, it just you don't know what costume you would get. Like it could be like maybe Rain classic costume will pop up, or maybe Sub Zeros, or well, Sub Zeros and Scorpions is available in the in the Ninja pack they made, but Molina's Reigns is exclusive, so you don't know what costumes you'll get. So it's random. That's true. But the whole grinding thing, as he's trying to say, is just like Deadly Alliance. But in reality, Deadly Alliance did not grind that much because mostly all you have to do is just play the arcade ladder with the characters that are available to get a lot of coins. And the best way to do it if you put it on a harder, like a higher difficulty. So, like, say, example, I put it on hard because max difficulty is sometimes very, very tough. But I put it on hard, and that's how you get the higher difficulty of the stuff. And of course, like the little modes, like test your might, test your sight, those kind of help get the coins too. So Deadly Alliance was not a grind. So that's how you know he didn't like Deadly Alliance at all because he's not a real Mortal Kombat fan.
However, right, because there is nothing else in the game outside of story that's actually worth decent sort of gameplay. The fact that you can't really earn a whole bunch when it comes to doing the actual normal towers. There's nothing else. Obviously, you played MK11. There's no towers of time. The crypt is just like like I literally thought Invasions was going to be a crypt, right? I was actually getting excited at one point, thinking it was going to be that. Okay, but the reality is though is
We all
that
did.
they have like I don't know
Total
what,
okay in the chat. So he admits his grinding. I said that like 5 million years ago. Like I never denied the grind. I don't know
Yeah.
what you're going about.
the problem.
Anyways, I'm sorry. I should be talking about you, not to the chat. That's the only thing.
No, that's fine. No, it's okay. It's cool, man.
That's my bad. That's my bad. That's my bad.
No, it's okay, man. Don't stress. If you want to say something, it's all cool. So this is the thing. It's like it comes across as a perception, right? That well, you should be great. Okay. Now,
No, I was just responding to those points.
Yeah, I understand, but the perception, like,
Mhm.
I don't know how many MMOs you play. I play a lot, right? And there's a lot of grind because they want you to keep, like, they want to keep your time in the game for metrics, you know. And once you finish story, which I actually thought was pretty good. I don't know if you like the story. I like the story. Right? It's pretty good. Right? outside the story,
I have my issues with it, but go ahead.
yeah, no, that's right. There's invasions. Now, I was originally excited. I thought this is cool, you know. But then, not long into it, you realise that okay, this is kind of this is pretty boring. You know, we don't seem to be getting a whole lot. You know, obviously they removed all the stuff that we had in MK11 with things like what were they, the augments and shit, and then we got like talismans and you know, basically invasions end up having a whole lot of fluff that didn't matter regardless. So it was all useless content, but you still had to grind through that content to even get to the end point. Now I know it's free, but to be perfectly honest, the stuff that they're giving us ain't exactly hard work, right? And your follow up to that was that let's not forget they built this game from the ground up in
And they did.
Capital with their new engine after getting off the one they used for 10 years. It doesn't look super different, to be honest. Like it looks aesthetically different, but it doesn't look like oh yeah, man, this is like next gen MK, right? Gameplay is built from the ground up.
I mean, if you don't think the graphics look really good at MK1, that's a little bit weird. But
no, they do. No, they do.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying they do
lying.
look good.
Yeah.
I'm not.
He was
but
hating
you
on
put
the
them side by
graphics
side
and
with
the looks,
MK11,
everything. You see, he's trying.
It's a different aesthetic, not a different. Like it's not like we're going from PS2 to PS3 or PS3 to PS4.
Yeah, it's a different aesthetic, different art style. It's a lot more artistic,
right? And the thing is, though,
different. Yeah.
See, he's trying to make it like he likes the graphics, and you know he's lying because he hated the graphics when the game came out. He hate the whole look of the game and everything. Garbage, Mike. And he's trying to pretend like he cares about the look of the game and everything. He doesn't. And the whole thing, like I said, the game actually was a brand new engine because they're using Unreal Engine 5, I think. And the original engine was Unreal Engine 4 from the course. And because MK9 and MKX, MK vs. DC, MK9, and Injustice, they use the same engine they have been using ever since MK vs. DC. So when you get to MKX, and it's basically the same engine as of the last 3 games that came before it. And so MK11 is basically Injustice 2, like I said, and they're using Unreal Engine 4. That's the graphics they were using throughout the PS4 and the PS4, Xbox One, and the PS3 was Unreal Engine 3. So as I realized, no, I think it was Unreal Engine 2 for MK vs. DC. I think it was. It probably was Unreal Engine 3. I'm probably right. Unreal Engine 3. So I'm probably right about that. But yeah, I guess it makes sense. The graphics of the game is still upgraded from the Unreal Engine 4. So it's basically true. But as for this game, it could have been on the PS4 and Xbox One because Street Fighter 6 is on both consoles, and Tekken 8 could be on that console as well. So it makes sense that they didn't follow that. But it makes no sense how he's sitting here lying and saying he likes the art style and likes the graphics, and he's lying to you guys like a rug. because Fate is lying. And I know he is. Just look at those videos. The proof is there.
Yeah. So, and then you say gameplay is built from the ground up. Like cameo meta,
It was.
which we know it's not new.
They took elements from other games, but like
No. It was in the towers. Or whatever.
Yeah, I know it was in the towers, but
Yeah.
like, did the towers have ambush? Was there a difference between ambush and summon? Did they have their own brutalities? Did they have their own skins? Did they have their own color palettes?
And this
Was a whole gameplay meta on how you play the game built around those summons in the Towers of Time? No. In MK1, yes.
Do you like cameos?
Yeah.
Do you think they should be playable characters?
I think some of them should, yeah.
Okay. So there's a lot of people out there that don't like a cameo system, right?
Sure.
For a whole variety of reasons. And
Sure.
like, you know, unlocking skins for them to basically just run in and out every now and then is just a waste of mechanic and a waste of resources and a waste of time.
But that's not how they. Yeah, but that's not how they. No, that's not how they work. If you utilize them to the fullest extent, like for example, I use Serena a lot in my Ashra combos. Ashra is bought up to an incredibly strong character when you pair her up with Serena. I actually have to decide whether or not I want to bring out Serena in certain ways. So, for example, when I bring out Serena, whenever I want to bring out Serena's ritual, it's usually after a knockdown. Very simple to understand. After a knockdown, you bring out the Serena ritual so you can get the meter drain. This isn't just somebody just coming in and out. This is like actually, I'm placing something here. I'm placing an assist for me to be able to help me during the game.
Yeah.
That's just normal gameplay.
Yeah. And
Baseball
that
shot,
this wasn't supposed to be Mortal Kombat, right?
I do believe that the whole thing about like, this is supposed to be injustice. I don't think that was. I think that's totally debunked. I think I remember Ed Boon saying something about like, like they thought about making an injustice, but they didn't do it, and they instead went on to Mortal Kombat. And in fact, I do believe that the Finny even went over into the files and said that a lot of it, said that even though that MK11 seems like it, or the next game was supposed to be Injustice 3 after MK11, the game system doesn't seem like it was built on that. It doesn't seem like it was built on making a next Injustice game.
Yeah. Well, there are
It's
moves
totally
that,
debunked. It's a misconception out there. It's totally debunked.
but he found files referring to super moves.
Yeah, because there's probably a lot of like overlap between the two. They use a lot of terminology. I mean, like super move and fatal blow is incredibly that's interchangeable. Some people even say super move like when they're talking about it in commentary. I wouldn't expect NetherRealm to not do that as well. There's also probably files that refer to the fatal blows, as you guessed it, fatal blows.
Yeah, well, I got in trouble for calling Scorpion Spear a harpoon earlier, but sometimes we used to call it that because it literally harpoons you in place.
It was.
But whatever. So this is my point, though, right? Is that like there is a perception, and listen, it's not just me that's saying it, right?
Yeah, I know there's a lot of people out there, but anytime they're confronted about like, okay, can you give me an example of it? Like it's super baseless. Like the Tanya one, super baseless. This one right here about like me responding to the 5 million points that person was talking about criticizing MK1. I just responded to their points because the points were kind of weak. If you want to criticize MK1, go for it. I've done it. All you talking about like the grind and invasions, I talked about how the grind is kind of shitty and the XP build is kind of shitty. I talked about that. These are things that I haven't run away from. Like the chat likes to act like I do, but I've never run away from it. Yeah.
Well, okay, that's good then, man. Right? Yeah. But that's what I'm
So
saying.
then,
So the first, like I said, like again, because we talked about the Tanya thing, you explained it better than what it was read. Does that make sense? Right. So,
but like, if anybody would read it, if anybody can actually read, you would probably understand that there are people that these are totally two different things.
Yes, but this is my point, right? So when
What
you
point?
look like you've got the ear for people like Ezra, You've got the inside track. You're doing all these different costume things or whatever. And that's fine, right? Like people can do whatever they want. That's cool. But when it seems like there's a perception where there's like, oh, I can't push too far. I'll give you a perfect example, which is Dynasty.
Another example.
Dynasty. Right? I don't mind the guy too. He seems cool, right? Now, people have been calling him out for a shill, of course, as well for a long time, right? And there's this notion of him being apparently blacklisted by NRS because he covered leaks, which is how I know I'm absolutely blacklisted. I don't care. So, and the thing is though that like he reached out to me, because I think he was at a point where he felt like he couldn't be honest and say, you know what, I do feel like this is crap. This is bad. Something feels really off this game. I want to call this stuff out. And I keep getting like, dogpiled on for actually calling out the shit. And he actually thought it was cool that not cool. Sorry, that's not the right word. He actually thought it was good to see that it's okay to say these things and nothing bad is going to happen. It almost seemed like he was worried that something bad was going to happen. Like, he's a massive YouTuber. I don't know what he's worried about. Shit. I'm sure he's not like poor. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there's like, he's doing okay, which is
Okay, what the fuck does Dynasty have to do with this though? And see, he even called him a shill. Like, see, Dynasty, like I said, Dynasty, Breast Poet, Uncaged Games, these were the guys that I saw popped up when MKX came out. Because these guys were not even around during the era of like Deception, Deadly Alliance, because they try to play those games, but they don't like them because they're not the games that they're playing at the moment. See, these guys hopped on the trend of Injustice and hopped on the trend of MKX and some of MK9 because, like I said, I was still playing MK9 online during 2013, 14, 15. I mean, all the way up until they finally removed the internet because of MK11. And yeah, like, but as you can realize, all the leaks that they said about MK1 were actually true. So, Shang Tsung being the enemy, the bad guy, basically was true from the very get go in the beginning of the story mode. So technically, it didn't shock me when the twist came. I mean, like I knew it. Just like how MK11 was. Like, Shang Tsung's the bad guy, isn't he? Yeah. I knew it was coming. But, like I said, like, if he actually said the game was bad and it's garbage, just like you saying that, technically, what's the problem? What's the hurt? There's nothing. It's not like they're gonna pop up and destroy Dynasty. They're gonna pop up and destroy him. Like, for what? Just sad. I mean, like, what the fuck does he gotta do with Dynasty?
is right. But then it's weird because, like, I don't care, but like he's blocked me again, and I never said anything against it. And I find that very strange, right? For a guy that was like, yay, I get to finally, I can speak my mind, it's okay, and that's what people want me to do. And then suddenly it's like his handler's gone. Do you know anything about that?
I don't understand how that has anything to do with like me being a shill, because that's what we're talking about here. My perception of being a shill.
See, I just said that.
Like,
See, what does that have to do with?
Like, okay, that's fine, but we're here talking about like what I have done, what I have said, and that give the perception. And
What does
whether or
Dynasty have
not
to
that
do
is
with
accurate,
this?
that's true.
Okay, so the reason
And
why
we're still not even going there. Like we're kind of just going over a lot of different things that have nothing to do with what I'm doing.
well, you asked me because I said that you said that I mentioned your videos, which is true, right? And that's the reason why I am bringing up. Like you asked me for examples, so that's two now that I've done. And this is what I'm saying. You're saying, well, this is not what it was meant to be. Everyone's reading it wrong. But there's a massive perception which you yourself can read with comments on those comments about saying, no, this looks sus. Now I appreciate, I really do, right? Like I have said shit and people go, whoa, what the fuck, And it's like, no, just because obviously typing shit is so different to saying stuff. But when people see big MK influencers seem to get the ear of everyone there, and it feels like every other person out there is ignored. Requests for fixing issues like player one, for example. If no one picked up on that at a high level, would it have ever been fixed? Right? Because we got the Condiment twins. This is the loving it. The Condiment twins who game tested this for balance apparently didn't pick up on it. Right? So when you start to look at all these pieces, you go, well, hang on a sec. Why is
I feel like they were the biggest voices, but I do remember that was started off with some random person on Twitter. Like I think it was like
it was well, okay, well maybe it was, but I found it like it was
Duh.
they were being
That's a
propped
lie.
up by pro players, yes, and that's one of the and like bigger name YouTubers. I think Super even made a video about it. But that's one of the benefits of these YouTubers. They prop up a lot of big things that need attention,
and that's good. But
Yeah.
why is it that they don't? Why is it that nothing happens until someone big says something? I mean, it's Twitter, bro. They have direct access to Ed Boon. They have direct access to if NetherRealm's got
I don't think it's literally. I don't think it's as simple as they are going out there and if they say something, they're going to get it fixed, or they're going to be they're going to be the first one in line to have it fixed. They can't just go out on Twitter and say, "I want this thing fixed" or "I want this thing changed" and have it be changed.
No.
This is one of the things that, like, yeah, like they propped it up and they asked for it, but almost everybody else was.
Okay, I'm still going through my videos. I'm not being distant. I'm still going through them for you.
Okay.
See, this guy is so. He is just so fucking wrong. Okay. Don't you realize in every game it's gonna have a bug? It's gonna have a glitch. There is never gonna be a game that is perfect. I mean, even the older games were not perfect. I mean, like, in some cases, like, the player one advantage is not even a problem. And besides a player one advantage, that's some dumb shit that he would make up. Because look at the older games, like I said earlier. MK3 days, the AI, the computer is fucking hard. And I'm not lying when I say that. Completely hard. I mean, you thinking Shao Kahn is the problem. Well, yeah, he is the problem when you get to him in Motaru. But it's the computer against the other players on the ladder. That's the hard part. So, player one advantage is just a stupid thing that they made up and telling different lies saying, player one advantage, mate. Bullshit, mate. I'm losing that 20 times, mate. I mean, he make up anything and just tell a lie. That's all he doing.
Yeah. I got all day to give me the perception of why I'm a shill.
Are you bothered by it?
No, I mean, like, hey, I could do this all day. What I'm curious is like, okay, like, what makes me a shill? And then I've
He keep
responded at every single
asking.
point.
I mean, he
A
keep
lot of them
asking
seem very
guys,
faceless.
and he
And
has
that's
not
look,
answered
that's
him.
fine. I am not.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that you cannot defend yourself, and I'm not saying that I'm wrong. But what I'm saying is
You
that there
are
is a
wrong.
perception. I see it.
That's fine that there is a perception, but
other
we're here
people
talking
see-
about you and your claims and what makes you think that. Because you're propagating it, you're out there spewing it, so you must believe it as well. If you because whatever it is that made you believe it has to have been something that I have done or said. You have given me some examples, but they weren't really good ones. Because the Tanya one didn't have anything to do with whatever the hell I was, and then the tweet where I was responding to that person who was criticizing MK, I was responding and I was defending. Hey, well, actually, this is coming, that's coming.